Hello internets, I'm HamsterBomb and you guys are watching another figure review video and I'm really excited to do this one here. I can even see you in the reflection there. I am so excited to get to do another Nendoroid figure. These things are just adorable and oh my goodness, Kim in particular was super excited about this new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Link DX version that they made. Oh my gosh, our focus was perfect before and now it's just not wanting to work. We'll get that working throughout the video. I figured out a better trick to get this stupid thing to work. But anyway, this Nendoroid actually, as I mentioned, is a DX version and comes in a lot of different variants. There's a lot of stuff that you get with the DX version. Though, as I go through this video, I'm going to show you in particular what you will get with the normal one and what you will get with the DX version. And believe me, it's a lot more stuff. It's real exciting. In particular, what Kim was excited about was the adorable little chibi horse that Link gets to ride, or Nestor from my series. I'm so excited. Plus, it's a nice touch that it's actually Link's horse from this series and not like another Epona, which is another thing to mention in this one. This is not a typical Legend of Zelda re-release of stuff, because a lot of the accessory things we're gonna get into later are pretty exclusive to Breath of the Wild Link, which is really cool. There's not even a Master Sword or Hylian shield in here, aside from the fact that he's clearly not wearing his traditional tunic, and this is a different horse. So very unique, very cool, and it's quite large with all of this stuff on here. So I'm real excited to display this little guy. So I'm gonna start with, I always start with boxes and stuff like that first, and we go through accessories. Then we're gonna dig into the main figure itself. So I'm gonna have Link here. Go on hold for just a moment as I pull out this very impressive backdrop. I just wanted to point this out. This is actually put in the back. It's kind of cropped off now. This is actually an insert inside of the box itself. And if I put it back here, you can kind of see, if I can open this up, it's got a really nice shot of Hyrule's plains and forests, rocky fields. It just captures that idea of the game, and I can even see a Hylian shroom is grown over there. It's just the game of wanderlust is really what it is. And this great backdrop, I decided to crop it out and just take it out of the box because it looks like a really good display area just on its own, which is really saying something. It's a really nice shot. So aside from that, it's just a piece of cardboard. I'm gonna get that out of our way. There is also the box, of course, and I'm gonna move Link so we can get a better look at this. Obviously, we're gonna have some issues of cropping because of the scale here, but for the most part, this is what the front of the box looks like. If you want to identify that yours is real or fake, typically a good thing to go for is the seal of approval stickers. These are pretty hard for them to fake. Typically, you can feel it's not really a sticker. That's why you could tell I was just moving my thumb over it. Over here, we got some icons showing the DX version of this figure with some accessories that are exclusive to this one that we're going to see later with this cool transparent Sheikah logo. More exclusive to the DX version shots here on the back. As we can see, we got the horse as I already have posed. And these are actually just additional versions of the same shots we've already seen there. And here's the top. We've already seen that shot of that cute little Link with his the Woodcutter axe, and here's another shot down at the bottom. So that's the box. Pretty simple. They're not going too detailed in those things. I'm going to bring Link back in the centerfold, and just so that we do take advantage of that nice backdrop, we might as well just set this back behind it. Though that may be what's throwing our focus off here, as it looks like no, I was just going to say, it'll jump right back to Link, but it didn't. So anyway, I'm going to start grabbing some pieces here. How about we start with a good look at the alternate face that we're going to get. This is actually the one that comes on him normally. I had taken it off in exchange for the other one. This one is going to come with the main version. If you just get the normal Link Breath of the Wild stuff. Man, the focus is bouncy all over the place. But anyway, I really like the details in the eyes. The paint that's in the hair really glows, looks really good. Also, if you turn it around, he's even got really detailed earrings and pointed ears in here. The hair back here is actually, it's got a little bit of a joint in there, sort of. I mean, the whole thing pops out. Hey, you know what? Here, just admire him for a moment while I fix our stinking focus, because for some reason it doesn't want to work, and I normally have this issue with other figures, but hey, for now I'm just going to fix the darn thing. How about we put it about here so it's really close? All right, I'm just gonna get used to where it permanently is now. I just put it on manual. So anyway, now that I know where this is, we can see there's a joint back in here, also a loose ring that's kind of holding Link's ponytail together, and there's that. It doesn't fall out. That's a pretty sturdy joint, and also it doesn't really move much, but if you want, you can twist it. So aside from that, if you haven't seen Nendoroids before, the way that they come apart is you basically just yank at the hair right here, and there you go. They will just come right off into chunks. You can see how they go together. And then the same thing will happen to the face. In fact, right now, with that hair off of it, you could pass this as a face for Zelda, probably. So if I pull this one off, then I could exchange it for, say, that other face if I wanted that one on here instead. Because what's inside the hood, we will see later, is very different. So I'm going to put this back together again. You can see how easy this is. They're just large, simple pieces, and they just click right together. Really nice. It's just an adorable little Link. The only other Nendoroid I have was actually donated to me. It was a surprise gift, and it is, in a past video, you can see it is Venom Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5. So another adorable, sinister guy. Not as, obviously, Link is not as sinister, but still, it's what made it so contrasty and great that I decided that these Nendoroids are something that's pretty cool I want to get my hands on. So here's a couple alternate legs that he comes with here. I have him wearing another set that is actually made for jumping, but I found it looks pretty good and works well with the horse. So anyway, here's just normal ones. If you want him to stand, you do get these with the regular set as well, by the way. I'm going to start organizing a new pile of stuff we've seen. Let's just go through limbs, I guess, because, man, you get so much. Now, this particular hand, I believe, is going to be unique to the DX version, because this one, as you can see, is for pulling back a bow, and there's a little hole right there. And, actually, no. I think the normal one gets the bow as well. I'm mistaken there. I'm sorry. I'm not really sure. The thing is, as soon as I saw the DX version, all the cool stuff it came with, Kim and I, we just couldn't help ourselves with the donation stuff. We were like, no, I know you guys are going to appreciate this for sure. This is just too good. As you can see, I just popped that arrow in there. That he comes with an ancient arrow. It looks really nice. I love how I can actually take a good look at what these arrows really are, and you can see how not aerodynamic they would be, but still, it's interesting. I guess the technology was all here, and maybe they were shot like missiles originally, and now in this like post-apocalyptic world, they need to be strapped to normal arrows, and that's how they're fired. So I don't know, it's pretty cool seeing it like this. I never really got to see them up close like that, because they're so precious in the game, you rarely want to fire them. But anyway, I can actually leave this as a single piece, because I'm never going to take this apart, unless I want Link to do like a backhanded piece, you know? But anyway, this will come with both versions, as I mistakenly said before. So this is arm that you can see is bent, and it is for holding something. This is probably for his shield, and as you can see up in here, so we're going to get back to that, the blue sleeve is going to cover this. It's going to basically attach into that segment. So this one's for holding onto the shield. That's why it's on his... Actually, no, this is Link's right arm, and if you guys have noticed, I believe Breath of the Wild is the first Legend of Zelda game that Link is right-handed. I don't count Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was made for the GameCube, and in the GameCube version, it was non-mirrored, which means he's left-handed in it. This is weird. Though it may have happened in a past game, say Link Between Worlds or something. I don't remember which orientation he had, but I remember distinctly in Breath of the Wild, he's holding it with the wrong hand. But regardless, it's for holding something. You can come up with whatever you want him to hold. I'm just going to go through the hand parts and stuff, because this generally should come with both sets. Here's Link's arms. Typically he has these straight arms. This is the straight arm that I have attached up here, by the way. And it's just straight. I have a fist on it right now. I believe when he comes out of the box, he just has both straight arms, both straight legs, and the fists attached. So there should be another fist over here just to say we saw it. There it is. Yep, you're going to come with the other fist. It's just a fist. Other hand he's going to come with. This one is more of a grasping a larger piece kind of hand. And I have one of them here for kind of showing that he's grabbing towards this, what we're going to talk about later, this, man, what do you call that? Just this leather strap to hold on to the horse. I'm sure there's a word for it. All the horse enthusiasts out there probably know. But anyway, here's another grasping ahead hand. It looks more like a mitten from the back because the fingers aren't really defined. This one here is for holding the bow, I believe. Or maybe this is for pulling back the arrows, and I had the other one backwards. It doesn't look it to me. I'm not sure what the little hole is in here for this segment. Though it sure looks like this one is for shooting arrows again. That's kind of odd. I thought I knew all the parts in here front and back. There's so many. We'll probably figure it out as we start messing with him later. But anyway, sorry. Off the top of my head, it's not coming to me. If I rotate Link around right now, as you can see him, this leg is kind of turned a bit. You know, kind of bent at the knee. It's another piece just because these legs are so small. They didn't want to put joints in the knees, you know, just to make it bend there. So instead you have a different leg for that. If I rotated him around so you can see his other leg, that one is much more of a bend. So those are all four legs. So there's two straight, two are bent, and the two that are bent are different angles. So if you think of it this way, if you know the pose that Link's doing, you know that concept art where he's like jumping and shooting an ancient arrow, those are the pose. That's the pose for his legs, basically. And I found it works really well for sitting on the horse. So aside from that, you can see another bent arm right here and a good grasping arm. This one kind of clicks in for most of his weapons that we will take a look at in a minute. And another straight arm and an outstretched hand here as well. So lots of arms, lots of legs. Well, really just two different sets of legs and tons of hands. That's basically all of this side. And now we've looked at the ancient arrow already. We kind of snuck a peek at that one. But let's take a look at some more weapons. And specifically, I'm going to take a look at his sword first. As I mentioned earlier, he does not have a Master Sword, which is, I think, is kind of cool because, I mean, there's so many other Links that are defined by that sword, and in Breath of the Wild, you get it more as, like, it's almost like an additional for fun thing you can get. It's like the whole game that you play the way you want to play, and because of that, they decided to make this figure have all sorts of different weapons that you would want to play with, possibly. So, this right here is, I'm assuming, just one of those typical soldiers' broadswords, and they had a creative idea for this, and I put mine together a little different. I actually forgot to do this. I just didn't want to take them apart to put it back on. But basically, there's a hole in it, if you have not noticed. And it's also sleeved, and it's scabbard. I will show you the blade later. But what you should do is use the peg that is going into Link's back, holding him up from the stand. You slide the sword through it first, and then stick it in his back. I forgot to do it when I was putting him on. And I was so happy with this, I was like, I just want to start the video. But anyway, if you're curious here and you're like, well, I mean, why is it sheathed? Where's the other sword? You just pop this out. That is the grip. And then you just wiggle this bad boy out of here. It's a little tougher to get out of there. And there you go. There's the hilt. And now you just discard that thing. Or I'll put it over on this side. So we can grab what you can see is a blade. A little short, cute blade. Go with our short, cute little Link. Put the thing back together again, and there you go. It's now a soldier's broadsword. And this looks pretty good with him. I really like the scale if he was holding it right here, which he probably could, honestly, if I wanted him to do that instead, like have an axe and a sword and not even hold on to his horse. That's what he would be doing at the moment. But still, I really like the sword. Particularly the scale looks really cool. I really appreciate that it's a random sword. If he was holding the Master Sword, I don't know. For some reason, I really appreciate the random junk that Link is getting in this game. So, still, I believe this comes with a regular edition. So far, from what I've shown you, just pointing out hands, arms, and legs, and weapons and stuff, that is all the normal edition, and I believe this right here, actually, I've covered this head, so just for simplicity's sake, let's put that over on the side, too. We're almost done with everything that you get in the normal edition. This is the bow that Link will be holding. I believe one end is just going to pop off. Yep, it's just like the Figmas. One end is just going to pop off, so you can slide the hand up in there, and then you just reattach it, and there you go. There's your bow. So, yeah, it's just like the Figmas of Twilight Princess, Link, and Zelda I've shown on the channel before, where there's obviously no string here, but considering the scale, it should be, it's insanely small. It would be thinner than fishing line. This is fine. I don't have a problem with that. So, moving on from here, you can see this odd-shaped thing back here. What this is this goes to the shield. I'm going to take the shield off right now. As you can see, I have it on the horse. You can actually put the shield on the horse, on these little spokes that are on the horse. And if you're curious, before we get to the shield, what those little spokes are, the horse on the opposite side as well has these little satchel bags that you can just pop right on. And, I swear you can. If I can get it in there. It's kind of hard to do this on camera, but there we go. And they just pop right on. Like I said, I'm going to rotate them around. You can see there's another back there. And there you go. It's just different satchel bags. And because of that spoke, as you can see where that hole is right here on the back of the shield, you can basically just attach this to the horse, which looks pretty cool. And if you wanted Link to hold it instead, what you would do, I'm not going to do this right now, but you can just take this little guy right here, which actually this comes together. You just pop it right in there, just because I'm kind of uncomfortable with pulling it out. I don't want to do it at the moment, but anyway, Link just holds onto that stick then when you do that. This also pops out here in the middle for some reason, and you can take this out. The reason being is if you want to put this also on Link's back, now you can slide it through this hole back here as well, and there you go. In fact, I may be doing that just in a bit. So let's leave these separated. And those are all things that you will be getting with the regular edition of Link. You get a lot of stuff with the regular Link, except everything else that is either on my Link right now or to the side. Wait, actually, no, there's one more part. I see it here. I almost missed it. I'm going to pull it off of his back. You will get the quiver in the normal one, too. And now, they show him wearing this in what I would think would be the wrong direction in the art. They show it sticking off on the wrong side. I'm not sure which way should really be up. I would think it should be going off to this direction, because if an arrow is sitting here, you want it to lay flat, easy to grab on this side. So I think they should hang right, but either way, whatever. You get the quiver. Yeah, I'm assuming it hangs right. Otherwise, this top part opens down, and they would just start falling out. So yeah, it's gonna hang right. I'm pretty sure in one of their shots showing this thing, just for the sake of the photograph, they bent it the other way so you can see he's using it, but pretty sure it's on backwards. This actually looks like it comes apart here, so I guess it's segmented and glued together. But anyway, now for realsies, that is the end of what you would be getting with the normal Link Nendoroid, other than this face. You would get that face, and of course the body of Link, but that's all. This is just an extra joint that you're also given, I believe, as a neck joint in case one goes bad, which actually I appreciate, because, oh, no, it's not an extra joint. Actually, well, technically it is, but I've been having issues with mine sticking into this Link's head. That one actually stuck pretty good. I replaced them. The one that was in this head, I put in this head, and it fit better, and this one, I guess, seems to be working a lot better now that it's in that head. Well, now he wants to roll that. He's got that. So how about we bend that to the side so he can go back to the floor again. Continuing with these little accessories over here before we move on to the big head honcho here. You've got a Sheikah slate. This is pretty cool. It reminds me of the Nendoroid of Snake, as I mentioned, as he pulls up his awesome little in-game map. There's a very detailed little Sheikah symbol right there on the other side too, as well as over here. Honestly, I don't remember which side's the front. I kind of think this is the screen. I don't remember, but watch, I'll pose him and he'll be looking at the wrong side. I assume this is the back because it's got the big design on it, and this looks more like their screen. Yeah, the only thing that bums me out about this, this sounds silly, it's just the one from Metal Gear, the Snake, is so cool because they use this clear plastic to like show the screen coming out of it. This is supposed to basically look like a Nintendo Switch, and the screen's supposed to be on it. The only bummer is I kind of wish the screen like showed, like, I don't know, a little print of the map or something. I don't know. I know it would be crazy huge to put on a dinky little thing like that, but just some sort of image other than, you know, I don't know, something for Link to be looking at. But I don't know. It just makes me think of that Metal Gear one. I'm like, man, they did such an awesome job with that one. In fact, my Nendoroid Link Snake downstairs is using that thing. It's so cool. So anyway, he comes with a chicken wing. Yes, if you get your deluxe version, you could be the proud owner of this very chicken wing. I'm excited to give this to Snake and any other Nendoroids I may get in the future. It's silly parts like this that make it for me. So I guess if you want to furiously eat with this face, you can. But yeah, of all the food, they decided on a chicken wing. I don't know why, but I mean, I guess because eating is such an important part of the game and like cooking and stuff like that. It's just so much that whatever, they decided to do it. This is pretty cool too. An option in the DX version, instead of just the sword of a melee weapon, you also have a Boko club. This is pretty cool because I don't know, I was using these for a good amount of the game too, and this kind of defines the game for me. You know, being able to pick anything up on the fly and just start fighting with it. And just same thing for your Nendoroid, you know, having the figure show that kind of survival randomness, utilizing the environment. That's pretty cool, and I really like how we have this option for these extra pieces that we can get and put on Link, so that, you know, you can really show that off. Though, just maybe it's something about the color of this one. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because the chicken wing is so close in color to it, but this looks almost like a giant steak for some reason to me. Though I know what it is. Maybe it needed like the lines and the bark or something to be more defined, because this is just a flat paint. But other than that, I really appreciate the fact that it's here. I just kind of wish there was a little more detail in the paint, but still, if there was too much, I mean, it's a Nendoroid. It's supposed to look very simple and clean, and it would be clashing too much, so. Either way, let's move on. We got the big main event here, and I'm going to start stealing stuff from him. How about first, what we're going to do is take him off of that horse. Whoa! Link, you know, you could just stay suspended like that for a while. He just got knocked off the horse, I guess. Or he was trying to tame it or something. I'm going to steal his weapon he's got up here. As you can see, he also comes with, and I'm really excited about this one. This one's really cool. Clearly, I had him using it. The Woodcutter's axe. And this is a nice, shiny, metallic colored paint they used on the axe itself. The blade has scratches and nicks into it from wear. It looks really cool, and I appreciate the fact that Link can actually hold this, as you saw, with one hand if needed, because I wanted him to be able to hold this while on the horse and still hold on to the horse while he was doing that. So it's really huge for the size. I mean, Link can easily, even from here, hold that with two hands. I know you can't see that angle, but if I did this, you probably could see that a lot better. He can hold that pretty well. So really nice weapon arrangement you get with this. And this, of course, is another DX version exclusive with the weapons you choose from. So basically, if you're choosing the DX version, you basically just want a lot more weapons. You want the hood, which we're going to talk about later, as well as the horse. The horse is probably the big thing, but anyway. Let's put the axe down, throw that in a big pile of junk. Link, I'm going to pop you off your stand and put Nestor, our pony horse, in the back. As you can see, the legs right now, they are still easily in that jumping pose. I have his legs as far apart as possible, though, so that he can ride the horse very well. He doesn't really have a lot of joints. These are just, if you know Nendoroids, these are just kind of spokes that they plug into, though his whole body will come apart if you wanted it to. This is just going to be a mess if I do this. You can pop, there, I was trying to do this. If you pop the legs out, one of the legs actually came out when I did this, you'll see a clear spoke. And then from there, Link's waist. This is just a thin rubber piece that the legs will slide through, and then they will slide into his torso. So that allows you to rotate, twist, do pretty much anything you would want to with very little movement that's actually going on in there. They didn't have to do it with joints or anything. It's just a matter of just smart, simple design. So I'm going to pop his arms out really quick and completely bisect this guy. There we go. You can see how easy that joint was to take off. I may want to use the other one, because the heads are obviously really big on the Nendoroids. It's the selling point. So I don't want them to fall off. Anyways, you can see here, we can take a look at the hood as well as the other face up close and personal. So this other face, that's about as much as you're going to be seeing from it from here. I will take the hood off for you, because the hood, this was actually the only thing that really stumped me about this figure and had me looking stuff up online about it. I really didn't want to damage the figure. As you can see here, there's a seam going up through the side, and clearly the hood has to come off to get the face out of there, and I didn't know how to do it. So basically what you're going to have to do is do exactly what you don't want to do and start forcing them apart. Now, to force it, it was not this easy when I first got it. It was actually really tough, and I really didn't want to scratch it by putting my fingernail in there, but just enough force, gently wiggling, eventually this happens. So, okay, so you pull that apart, and we can see this is the half of the hood. The hood is pretty much an entire headpiece, and as I have heard, you can basically make any Nendoroid of yours wear the hood if you would like to. You basically just have to pop Link's face out of here, and that, by the way, is how we're going to get Link's other face if you would want to switch him out. I'm going to add that to our little messy collection down here. And the hair, as you see, is actually a part of the hood. So if you put any other Nendoroid face in there, unfortunately it will have that hair kind of flowing in there, though some characters that kind of have that blondish hair color aren't going to look bad. Probably a Zelda. I know they made a Wind Waker Zelda. I'd love to get the Wind Waker ones as well, just because that is their anatomy and it looks great on them. This was actually just the only Good Smile Breath of the Wild link that they'd come up with, so that was kind of surprising. This piece back in here is just the back of the head. It just supports it for the chin, excuse me. And this, you can just segment, push it back together, and there you go. So you can see how that's working there. Also, I'm going to turn it around. There is a nice pattern detail that they have underneath the hood back there. The hood's really cool. I really love the style of the hood. I wish in my playthrough I had gotten to use it more. The problem was, before I even got to Kakariko Village, where you can buy this hood, I just happened to find the Climber's Bandana, and it had a skill and the same defense as this thing, which had no skill. So I was basically, for my whole game, wearing Climber's Bandana, and never got to wear that awesome hood. I loved the hood, really, because of the style and the color scheme. It looks really good with this garb that Link is wearing, blue this time. And I wanted to use it and wear it. Never got a chance to, so pretty cool. Now I finally can with the Nendoroid. As we can see, as we look into this, like, if I popped this out, it'd be even better. This dark, soulless head that could not, by the way, pop on Link's body. I would need to put that in there, and then it actually could. But whatever. So anyway, we need to move on to the final, as Link is just in a complete mess on the floor. I'm going to fix him later. I don't really need to go into the stand as much. It's pretty simple to figure out. Link, as you can see here, I want to point this out, has one of those extra long stands with multiple segments here. For example, a normal Nendoroid that doesn't come with, or doesn't need that extra length is only going to have 2 of these. So 1 rung, 2 rung, and that's it. So my snake downstairs only has the 2. So Link has 1, 2, 3, and then this extra long piece coming out at the top. And that's to hold, you know, this shield, the sword, all that extra stuff that's going to be going on through his back. And that all is also in addition to help him be held up while he is on his horse. Now, what's weird about that is if you get the normal version of Link with no horse, you still get the ginormous stand for some reason. You won't obviously get the horse's stand or anything without the horse, but the giant stand is really unnecessary, and it looks kind of silly from pictures I've seen with the normal Link. So that's kind of a shame that they did that, but anyway, just looking at the horse now. The horse is completely posable, in case you were wondering. There, I'm going to move his legs back down so this little guy can stand up for us. As you can see, I've got that plastic piece spoked into his belly so that he can rest easily on his version of the stand. He gets his own stand back there. If you just wanted to stand up normally, the horse, of course, can stand on its own. How amazing. It's got 4 legs. I would hope it could stand on its own. The head also has a little bit of movement. You got a little bit of movement here in the mane as well, though I don't know why exactly you would do that, but there you go. You can do that. The head moves about that much, and this strap here coming off of the front, this is, I think this is actual leather. It's really thin, of course, but I think it's actual leather. This is nice stuff. I'm scared of ripping it. But I really don't think I will. I'm glad they went that extra mile and made, like, some really nice fabric to go in here. The only thing is I wish Link's arm choices or hand choices was able to grip this a little bit better. Or maybe there was, like, a plastic segment in here that snapped onto Link's arm a little bit better. Because, as you can see from the beginning of this video, when I tried to have Link holding it, it pretty much doesn't work. Moving on to the back. The tail does move for however much you want to move that tail. And as I showed you before, both of these packs will come off and you can replace them with things like the shield. And that's pretty much it. There's a lot of stuff that comes in here. It's really, really incredible. I've made a total mess of it, and it's now like all about this hero, the horse here. And I know I felt like I've been flying through this video trying to show you everything just to make sure that I got it all done in time. And it's already been over half an hour. So there's so much to this figure. I just wanted to make sure that I could like give you guys a good visual. If you want to decide between the DX version or the normal version, if you're content with just the normal parts, or if you think you gotta have that horse or the hood, or you need the extra weapons to showcase that game properly, then I hope I've been able to help you make that decision. But regardless, I was able to get this for a pretty good price. This was $54 online, and typically this runs like $80. So I got pretty lucky. It was on an eBay exchange, so that may explain the lowered price. So if you stay patient, you can probably find this set for a lot less than you were expecting. But either way, that is all the time I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next figure review video. See you!